is piloting the UAPs or UFOs constantly seen in our skies? Where are they from? Why are they here? How long have they been here? What is their mission on planet Earth? Do they come in peace, or do they have more sinister motives? Join Mad Mark as he uncovers the answers to these questions and many more of the mysteries that puzzle us all on Who Are the Aliens? The history of the Anunnaki on planet Earth. And now, here's Mad Mark.
Today's episode, The Mysterious Realm of Sleep. What exactly happens while we slumber? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Who Are the Aliens? The history of the Anunnaki on planet Earth. I am Mad Mark, and before I begin, just a quick reminder to please like, share, and comment. It helps so much. Okay, today we're going to take a break from Zecharia Sitchin's 9th book, The Lost Book of Enki, and we will resume our studies of that work on the next episode. But today I would like to dive a bit deeper into the topic of raising your consciousness. Now, this is a personal journey that I have been on for the past 6 years or so, and I feel that it is a topic of great importance. I know that many of you are students of this as well. And just like our studies of the Anunnaki, I think that it is an area where we can learn together. Nobody knows everything about consciousness. It is an ongoing process. You are constantly learning something new. And that is what we are going to be talking about on today's episode. But before I get into that, I would like to take a moment to talk about my social media accounts. As many of you know, I have accounts on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Many of you have discovered my show through my social media accounts. And on these accounts, I post short little 30 to 60 second clips from the show twice each day as a promotional tool. It's to raise interest in the hopes that people will be intrigued enough by them to want to watch the entire episode. But it seems that many people misunderstand these short clips and they think that they are my entire message. And because of this, things sometimes get a little heated on these accounts. People get angry at one another. They start arguing back and forth. If you know me at all, then you know that this is the absolute opposite of what I am trying to accomplish with this show. But as I talked about on episode 28 or season 2, episode 3, people get so attached to their labels that they get defensive if they feel that someone is attacking one of their labels. They take it personally. A perfect example of this are the shorts that I posted to promote episode 23, which was the show I did regarding my theory on racism. So many people misunderstood these posts because they didn't watch the entire episode. The black people started attacking the white people. The white people started attacking the black people. And many white people started attacking me because they thought that I had turned on my race. And none of this was true. And it hurts me greatly that this is happening. I love everybody. I don't care what color you are. Hell, I don't even care what color I am. I would never say that one race is better than another. My message is the complete opposite of that. I am trying to spread peace and love and understanding among all people. And my message is that we are all in this together and we have to work together to end discrimination and racism wherever we find it. Another example are the shorts that I posted on social media about religions. If anything ever reinforced my argument against religions, it was those posts. People are trapped in their religious labels and they get so defensive about them. Those labels have become a part of who they are. And they take it as a personal attack when you try to enlighten them to the fact that religion is not necessary in order to access the divine. That's the message that Jesus, Yeshua, was trying to teach us. before it was hijacked and turned into a religion. His earliest followers were called the Way, and it was not a doctrine, but a direction, meaning that they were following a path. And one of the most radical things that Jesus, Yeshua, ever said was that the kingdom of heaven is within you, not later, not after death, but here and now. And what he was pointing to was not worship of a person, but recognition of a presence, a living, breathing relationship with the divine, not through fear, but through awareness. After his death, however, institutions formed, and institutions, by their nature, seek control. So the message was subtly shifted from "you are one with God" to "God is separate and you need a middleman to access the divine." But Yeshua, Jesus' original message, remains unchanged. When you step beyond dogma and listen deeply, you will realize that you were never meant to follow a religion. You were invited to wake up, to realize that the divine you seek has been quietly living within you all along. This is why I am so against religion. People always comment to me, "Why can't you just let people believe what they want? Who's it hurting?" I'm fine with people believing what they want as long as they keep it to themselves. It's like that joke about having a big penis. It's great for the man who has it, but nobody wants to see you take it out and wave it around. But I really want to focus on that question for a moment of who's it hurting, because religion has convinced many people that they are somehow broken and need to be fixed. And if you don't know how to talk in tongues or follow a particular set of guidelines, then they're probably going to hell one day. How many wars have been started because of religion? How many people have died because others thought that they weren't following the right religion? Do you remember 9/11? What do you think convinced those people to fly those planes into those buildings? They thought that they were doing God a favor and that they would get some reward in the afterlife. It's delusional. And let's not forget that I can show you endless stories of good Christian clergymen taking advantage of women and kids. I could show you story after story, but it would take the entire show. Hell, maybe 2 or 3 shows. So when you ask me why I can't just let people believe what they want to believe, because who's it hurting? It's obviously hurting a lot of people. So if somebody wants to stay in their own home and mutter to themselves to a spirit in the sky, fine. Knock yourselves out. But you shouldn't be telling other people that they are somehow damaged if they don't do it. And you definitely should not be teaching it to kids before the age of reason. Now, this is where you're going to tell me, but religion does some good things too, right? Fine. You know, I'm sure most serial killers have done some good things in their lives, but it doesn't outweigh the bad that they've done. My question to you is this: why do you care? Why do you care if I talk bad about religion? How does that hurt you in any way? And why is your religion so weak that it can't stand up to a little scrutiny? Why is your God so weak that he can't handle a little criticism? And if he has a problem with this, why can't he come talk to me about it himself? You see, my friends, if the Creator needs somebody like you to intervene on his behalf, then he's not a very impressive God, is he? And we all know why you're doing it. You feel like you're earning extra heaven points or sucking up to the boss, right? I can't help but think that we would be so much better and more advanced as a species if religions would have died off a couple of 100 years ago, because those beliefs have been holding us back in a big way. So when you ask me who's it hurting, I say everybody. All religions are false. None of them will ever help you to meet God. Why? Well, it's because the God you imagine does not exist. I'm talking about the God who controls everything, the God who punishes some, rewards others, and sends people to heaven or hell. That God is a human invention. Religions took the unknown, the mystery of existence, and trapped it in books, rules, and fear. The real God is not a person. It is a state of consciousness. God is in you as your own creative awareness. So when you say, I saw a miracle, or God answered my prayer, what you actually saw was your inner world creating your outer world. That is not God doing magic. It is the law of the Spirit, the law of your mind. When you pray with conviction and visualize with emotion, you change your body, your energy, and your life. You connect with universal intelligence, but that intelligence is not outside of you, it is you. What I want you to understand is that what you have been calling God all this time was already inside of you. This isn't about judging religion or telling you to leave it. It's about remembering that as long as you give more power to something outside of you than to the light that shines within you, you will miss your true divinity. Not everyone is ready to hear this message, but if you are ready to wake up and realize the divine within you, then you have come to the right place, because we are going to be studying our true inner divinity together periodically as my show and my episodes go on. Okay, so let's get to our topic for this show, the miracle of sleep. They told you that sleep was for rest, right? They lied. Sleep is for programming. It is the time when the conscious guard falls silent and the subconscious begins to take orders. And every night, most people issue the same commands. I am tired. I am broke. I am in pain. I am behind. I'll try again tomorrow. Then they close their eyes and their minds carry those same orders out. The same orders that they gave it the night before and the night before that. You wake up poor, not because money has left you, but because your thoughts have. You wake up defeated, because the words you fell asleep repeating became the blueprint your subconscious built while you slept. But there is another way, another dimension of sleep, where you do not escape life, but you create it. The wealthy and the powerful have always known this. They never go to bed merely to rest. They go to bed to instruct. When Edison closed his eyes, his inventions kept building themselves in his mind. When Carnegie slept, his plans expanded through the night. When Ford dreamed, his factories multiplied before a single brick was laid. They did not drift. They directed their subconscious to continue their work while their body slept. Every night you cross the threshold of worlds. The question is, who gives the orders? If you enter sleep as a drifter, you will awaken as a drifter. But if you enter it as a commander in faith, desire, and definiteness, you will awaken in another life, one that your own mind constructed while you dreamed. What you are about to hear is not fantasy, it is instruction. It is how to plant wealth, success, and peace into your subconscious mind until they grow automatically. You will not need to chase riches in the daylight. They will already be seeking you by morning. Tonight, before you close your eyes, I will teach you how to step into that secret chamber, the wealth dimension, where your mind and infinite intelligence meet in silence. There you will issue new commands of abundance, of mastery, of victory. Fall asleep with these thoughts, and your life will begin to obey them. Drift carelessly, and the old world will reclaim you by dawn. So tonight, do not merely go to bed. Go to creation, because if you listen well, you will not awaken to the same life that you left. Night is not an intermission between days. It is the unseen half of creation. While the body sleeps, the mind continues to labor. The conscious guard retires, but the subconscious worker never closes his eyes. He obeys the last command you give him before sleep. You are programming your destiny every night, whether you know it or not. Hey gang, Mad Mark here, and by popular demand, I now have merch available. I've found the perfect company to work with, and they do an outstanding job. There are t-shirts and hoodies available right now, and who knows what I will come up with in the future. There are 2 different designs to choose from at the moment. You have this one and this one. And these t-shirts and hoodies come in a variety of colors and sizes, so no matter what you're looking for, there's something for everybody. If you're watching this show right now on YouTube, you can find this merch by clicking the shop link below in the show description, or just pay a visit to www.madmarktv.com. That's the all-new Who Are the Aliens t-shirts and hoodies. Get yours today. The question is, are you giving orders or are you drifting? Most men waste the night as they wasted their day. They drag their bodies to bed filled with complaints, anxieties, and unfinished regrets. They rehearse the failures of the day in silence, calling them thoughts. They repeat the language of defeat until their subconscious accepts it as the law. Then, as they sleep, that law is carried out. They wake poorer, not because opportunity has left them, but because their own minds have obeyed poverty's orders. But the man of purpose does not drift into sleep. He directs himself into it. He knows that the mind is not idle at night. It is building, repairing, arranging, and recording. It is the silent architect of tomorrow's circumstances. Therefore, he retires to bed as a general retires to his headquarters, with intent, with direction, with command. He closes his eyes, not in surrender, but in strategy. The subconscious mind is a worker without fatigue. It never sleeps, never rests, and never argues. It takes the raw material of thought, molds it through imagination, and turns it into a condition. Every idea impressed upon it with feeling becomes a blueprint for future reality. Every emotion you nurture before sleep is a seed cast into the soil of tomorrow. The subconscious will produce exactly what is planted, nothing more and nothing less. Understand this great law. The last dominant idea impressed upon your mind before you sleep becomes the vibration that governs your next day's results. If you retire with gratitude, you awaken renewed. If you retire with resentment, you awaken exhausted. The quality of your nights determines the quality of your mornings, and the quality of your mornings decides the fate of your years. You are never off duty. The mind is always in service to faith or to fear. When Thomas Edison faced problems that resisted reason, he did not force solutions. He withdrew into sleep, holding the question clearly in his mind. He trusted his subconscious to finish the work while his conscious brain rested. More than once, he awoke with complete blueprints, answers that appeared as if from another world. I remember Paul McCartney talking about this when he was a member of the band The Beatles back in the 60s. Many hit songs came to him in his sleep. The other world is not imagination. It is order, the same mental law that serves every man who knows how to direct it. This practice is not mysticism. It is organized thought. Every night, you perform the most mysterious act in the universe, and you don't even realize it. You lie down, you close your eyes, and then you vanish. Not your body, not your breath, but you, the one who thinks, worries, plans, remembers. He simply disappears. And here's what will disturb you. You have absolutely no idea where you go. Tonight, when you surrender to sleep, you'll dissolve into something so profound, so utterly beyond your understanding, that if you truly grasped what happens, you'd never take consciousness for granted again. But we've been conditioned to treat this daily death and resurrection as ordinary. How fascinating that the most extraordinary journey you'll ever take happens every single night, and you've been sleepwalking through it your entire life. Now, let's talk about something rather unsettling. Every evening, you perform what amounts to voluntary suicide. Oh, I don't worry, I'm not being dramatic here, I'm being precise. Think about this. What you call yourself, this chattering, thinking, experiencing being, willingly steps into oblivion. You see, you've become so accustomed to this nightly disappearance that you've stopped noticing how absolutely extraordinary it truly is. Your thoughts stop, your sense of time evaporates, your precious identity, all those opinions, memories, concerns, and labels that you clutch so tightly simply dissolve. And yet, somehow, mysteriously, something continues. Something that isn't quite you, but isn't quite not you either. It's as if every night you're given a demonstration of what the Buddhists call the void, that space of pure being that exists when the ego takes a holiday. But here's what's truly fascinating. We treat this daily miracle as though it were nothing more than maintenance, like charging a battery or defragmenting your computer. How wonderfully we've managed to make the mystical mundane. Now, let's examine this disappearing act more closely. What exactly vanishes when you fall asleep? Those precious labels begin to disappear. Your name doesn't matter anymore. Your job, your relationships, your endless to-do lists, all gone. All those things you think define you simply aren't there. The person who was worried about tomorrow's meeting, who remembered yesterday's conversation, who has opinions about politics and preferences about coffee, that entire construction just stops. It's the most complete forgetting imaginable, and yet, curiously, you don't experience this as a loss or a death. There's no sense of strategy in deep sleep, no mourning for the vanished self. Why? Because the one who could mourn has also disappeared. This is what I find deliciously paradoxical. Every night you prove that you can exist perfectly well without being you. In fact, you might say you exist more purely, more essentially, when all the psychological furniture has been cleared away. But here's the uncomfortable question that this raises. If you can be so completely without your identity every single night, what does that tell us about the reality of this identity you defend so fiercely during the day? Could it be that what you think you are is far more optional than you've been led to believe? Now, we arrive at something truly puzzling at this point. During your waking hours, there's always this sense of someone watching, isn't there? An observer behind your eyes, a witness to your thoughts, a constant companion who never seems to sleep. You might call it consciousness, awareness, or simply I. This watcher is so persistent, so reliable, that you've probably never questioned its permanence. It's there when you're happy. It's there when you're sad. It's there when you're bored. It's there when you're excited. The one constant in your ever-changing experience. But then sleep arrives, and this eternal observer, this supposedly permanent witness, no longer exists. The watcher itself dissolves into the watching. What does all of this mean? Well, it suggests something rather revolutionary about the nature of consciousness itself. Perhaps this observer you think you are isn't quite as solid, quite as permanent, as fundamental as you've been assuming. Maybe consciousness isn't something you have, but something you temporarily appear in, like a wave appearing in the ocean. We've talked about that before. And when sleep comes, the wave subsides back into the ocean, but the ocean itself remains. The question is, what is this ocean? But wait, it gets even more mysterious, because sometimes in this state where you have supposedly vanished, the most extraordinary theater productions begin, your dreams. Now here's what should absolutely baffle you. If you're unconscious, if the self has now dissolved, who exactly is creating these elaborate dreams of yours? Who's writing the script? Who's casting the characters? Who's designing the sets? And most mysteriously of all, who's watching the show? In your dreams, you meet people you've never seen, visit places that don't exist, have conversations you've never had. The creativity here is astounding. The detail is remarkable. Your dreaming mind constructs entire worlds, complete with physics, relationships, and storylines that can be more compelling than any Hollywood production. But the dreamer, the one who would normally take credit for this creativity, is supposedly absent. And here's the most fascinating part. In the dream, you believe it's all real. You're convinced that dream you is the real you, that dream world is the real world. The illusion is perfect until you wake up. Now, this should make you pause for a moment. If consciousness can create such convincing realities while you are absent, what makes you so certain that this waking reality isn't just another kind of dream? Perhaps one being dreamed by something far more vast than your individual mind. Let's venture into the most mysterious territory of all, deep sleep. Those hours when even dreams don't visit. When you exist in a state that's so profound that nothing, absolutely nothing, appears to be happening. This is where things become truly mind-bending. In deep sleep, there are no thoughts, no sensations, no experiences of any kind, no time, no space, no self, no other. And yet, something is there. How do I know? Because you wake up refreshed, because you somehow know you slept well, because there's a clear difference between 8 hours of deep sleep and 8 hours of tossing and turning. But if there was truly nothing there, how could there be any qualitative difference at all? This is what I like to call the deep sleep paradox, pure being without any content whatsoever, existence without experience, consciousness without an object to be conscious of. It's like a theater with the lights off, the audience gone, the actors departed, yet somehow, mysteriously, the show goes on. The mystics have a word for this state. They call it the casual body, the most fundamental level of your being. It's you without any qualities, you without any attributes, you without even the sense of being you. Pure existence, aware of itself without needing to think about it. What's shocking is that you visit this state of perfect peace, perfect wholeness, perfect being every single night. The very thing you're searching for in meditation, in philosophy, even in religion, you experience it naturally every time you fall into deep sleep. And that is where I leave you for this episode. You have quite a lot to digest there, and we have so much more to cover and learn. I am Mad Mark, and I sincerely hope that you have enjoyed this episode. If so, please like, share, and comment. It helps so much. And please subscribe so that you never miss a single episode. Also, please tell your friends and help spread the word about this show. I certainly would appreciate it. If you have any questions regarding the content discussed on this program, just message me through madmarktv.com or on any of my social media platforms. I also have a special heads up for those of you who have Facebook accounts. I now offer a subscribers-only page on Facebook where, for just 99 cents a month, you can watch each new episode of my show right there on Facebook. It's a handy alternative to having to hassle with YouTube or Spotify to watch the show. And all of my past episodes are on there too. So it's pretty convenient for just 99 cents a month. If you're interested, there's a link in the show notes below. Who Are the Aliens? The history of the Anunnaki on planet Earth is written and produced by me, Mad Mark. Today we have taken another step in our ongoing journey to discover the truth. I promise you that things will get more and more interesting the further we delve into this topic of who are the aliens, the history of the Anunnaki on planet Earth. Peace to all of you, and remember to always walk in love. Bye for now.
You've been listening to Who Are the Aliens? The history of the Anunnaki on planet Earth with your host, Mad Mark. Join us again on our next program when Mad Mark will once again uncover the answers to the mysteries that puzzle mankind.